We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history.
The fuck is he
I'll
saying,
keep doing
bro?
the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter
The fuck is he talking about?
and a winter of possibilities, peril and possibilities. We're in the grip of the war. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression,
The fuck?
the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. We came together as Americans.
Yo, this whole fucking
got
live
through
is
it.
fucking up. What are you
We
doing
emerged
to me,
stronger, more
YouTube?
prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today,
We in the man cave.
violent
We
crime
watching
rate
this
is
old
at a
piece of shit
50-year
fucking
low.
not know how to
Also
talk.
securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
The fuck is that
I kept
doing
my
to the
commitment
groceries, bro? Lower the
appoint
grocery
first black
prices.
woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago
Joe Biden, you
because
suck.
I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world.
The fuck is he
That
talking
idea is
about,
that we
bro?
hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I'd like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable.
Kamala
She's
sucks.
been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American
Kamala
people.
doesn't have a chance against Trump.
You make that choice. Remember the words of Benjamin
Fucking
Franklin
old man,
hanging
Joe.
on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on,
Bro, learn how to talk,
whether the
Joe.
founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it.
Bro, this guy's
Whether
dying
the
right in front of us.
republic is not in
Joe,
your hands.
what's wrong with
My
you?
fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter From modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States.
Bro, you suck, Joe.
That's what's so special about America.
FJB.
We're a nation
FKH,
of promise
USA,
and
baby.
possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are.
You suck
We're the
at
United
talking,
States
Joe
of America.
Biden.
And there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
Bro, you need to protect the troops,
Moment
Joe.
in history tonight, President Biden
Fucking
in the Oval
bozo.
Office. You heard him say there to the American people, I revere this office. I love my country more. He talked about this being not about me. It's about you. It's about we, the people. He said, we cannot forget that. I never have. He did ask this question. He says, does character in public life still matter as we head toward the November election? And he said, nothing should come
Trump
in the way
matters.
of saving, preserving democracy in this country. We do have our entire Powerhouse political team here tonight. Let's get right to ABC's chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. And Mary, you had reported that this was a deeply personal decision. It was closely held, a very small group with him, including his wife, the First Lady, Jill Biden. That he began to come to this decision Saturday night. Then on Sunday made it official, calling the vice president, informing her of his plan to step aside in the race. Then informing his immediate team. Then just 1 minute later, sending out that statement to the nation, my fellow Americans, it started. Tonight, Mary, he explained what he believes are the stakes in this election, and he argued for himself that in the end, President Biden believes that what is at stake here is actually larger than any title, larger than even staying in the race himself.
David, the president saying he has given his heart and his soul to this country, and he is doing that again by deciding to step out of this race. Listening to that speech, it felt very much like Joe Biden's love letter to the country that he has devoted his life and his career to serving, protecting, and defending. And you heard him say nothing can get
Joe
in the way of
Biden
saving
looks
our democracy,
dead.
including personal ambition. You know, when he decided to run back in 2020, he did it promising to be a bridge, a transitional candidate to the next generation. But when he announced his reelection, he said he had to finish the job. Tonight, he is making it clear that finishing the job means he needs to pass on the torch. He needs to pass the baton.
This guy is so
and help
old.
Kamala Harris now win the White House.
FJB.
Saying now is the time for the next generation. He is also, of course, making it clear his work is not done here.
FKH.
He has 6 more months left in office. He wants to use that time to help cement his
USA.
legacy. But David, the thing that Joe Biden will likely be most remembered for is this very moment. The way in which he is exiting this race. He did it in many ways to preserve his legacy, but David, it will likely be the thing that ends up defining it.
Well, Mary, I wanted to read you a statement moments ago that came in some color, in fact, if you will, from inside the White House. Someone inside this circle, the close circle, who has spent time with the president and the family over the last few days, the Biden family, telling ABC News tonight that the only thing I can say is contrary to the reports I've heard, there is no anger, no remorse with the Biden family. There is only a deep sense of pride and an enormous amount of gratitude and appreciation for the overwhelming recognition of Biden as a true patriot and historic defender of democracy.
And David, I think that is a sentiment that is shared not only by the family, but also by the staff here at the White House. I can tell you that right now, there are about 500 members of the president's staff, people who have devoted so much time and energy to this administration and his fight for what the country can stand for. They're now right now huddled in the state dining room, in the East Room, watching these remarks all together, witnessing this history together, David.
No question, a difficult and challenging night for that team that has worked so closely with the president and even the Biden family themselves, having been able to get used to this decision over the evolution Saturday, Sunday into early.
Yeah, the old man
It still
talked
must be
and then he
profound
just
to
was like
watch,
stuttering every fucking word.
Jill watch her husband and the rest of the family watched their father, their grandfather deliver the news in that way tonight. Mary, thank you. Stay with us here. I know our coverage is going to continue. Mary's going to be back in just a moment, but I do want to bring in our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl. John, it's really impossible to overstate here how wrenching
That
this
motherfucker
decision
look
must
like
have
Kevin
been.
Spacey, bro.
This is a president who, for
Man.
weeks, we saw it. We
Democrats
reported
are
here,
all
he was
fucking
determined to
fruitcakes.
stay in this race, even under growing pressure to step down from the campaign from some of the very Democratic leaders who were his partners in getting elected in 2020. What have you learned about what the turning point was for President Biden in eventually making this decision?
Well, and David, you could hear it in what he said tonight. He believed that his record merited a second term. He did not want to make this
Big
decision.
facts.
It was a decision that he was very much
3207. Look at this
forced
guy.
to
He looks
make.
dead.
He did it. There was nothing.
He looks
in
like a
that
fucking
speech that
cadaver.
suggested that he didn't believe that he could serve another 4 years. Nothing that suggested that his health would have gotten in the way. He said he
Bro,
did
he's
it
like
because of
100 years
party
old. His
unity.
health
The party
definitely gets
needed
in the way,
to be
bro.
unified.
What are you
So,
talking
in answer
about?
to your question, a critical moment in all of this, there are many critical moments, but perhaps most was a week ago Saturday.
3207
when,
killing
Chuck
it.
Schumer, the Senate leader, of course, remember, Joe Biden is a man of the Senate. He spent most of his life serving in the Senate. So when the Democratic leader of the Senate went to see him at Rehoboth Beach, and as we first reported, urged him to take this step in the name
Look at these old guys.
for his own good, for the good of his party, for the good of his country. I'm told that at the end of that meeting, Biden said to Schumer, "I need another week." And the two men hugged and went on. So it was exactly a week after that moment that Biden began the process of making that decision you heard Mary Bruce describe, of deciding to get out of this race, a decision he very much did not want to make.
And John, those deeply personal words near the top of what he said the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title.
Yeah, and he made the point, he used the phrase inflection point, that we're at an inflection point in our country where the decisions we make now, the things we do now, will impact the course of history for many years to come. I think that's almost certainly correct. But in terms of Biden's legacy, the question will be, what happens now? Does Kamala Harris
Biden
win
is
in
definitely
November?
dead. They
If
keep
she
showing the
doesn't,
same pictures
people
over and
will
over.
look back at this moment and ask, why didn't Joe Biden do it earlier?
That would be the case, certainly, come November, if they do not win in this election. John Karl, I know you're staying with us over the course of the hour as well. I wanted to also bring in ABC's Rachel Scott, covering the campaign trail, both the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign. And Rachel, obviously, as you heard John,
Rachel
Mary
is
say, there was
definitely
gonna
a
be legacy-defining
DEI
moment for
hire,
President
bro.
Biden. He's thrown his full support.
Definitely
in
a
recent
race
days,
hire.
Again tonight in front of the American people, behind his vice president Kamala Harris.
This
You know,
lady
he
right
said
here
back
took a
in
white man's
2020 that he
job,
wanted to be a
guaranteed.
bridge to the next generation. Mary alluded to that, and that it would appear that that's exactly what he's now trying to do here tonight.
Tonight, President Biden is that bridge to the next generation. He said tonight that it was time to pass the torch. He called it the best way to unite the nation. The president put it very bluntly. He said that there's a time and place for long careers, decades in politics, and that there's a time and place for fresh voices, fresh faces. And he said that time and place is right now. You know, David, as the president was speaking, I thought back to how President
time for
Biden
Trump.
once introduced
Let's go,
Kamala
Trump.
Harris to the nation, saying that he was thinking about all the brown and black little girls out there that was seeing a black and South Asian woman in a new way, a way that they may have not ever seen before. Tonight,
Bro, so is she
Kamala
black
Harris,
or is
the
she
presumptive
Asian?
Democratic
What the fuck
nominee,
is
becomes
Kamala
the first
Harris?
Black and South Asian woman on a major party ticket, David.
Rachel Scott with us here tonight for our coverage as well. Rachel, we'll see you shortly. With President Biden's decision on Sunday, it was nothing short of a political earthquake. The presidential race immediately upended. The Biden campaign, now the Harris campaign tonight. Two new national polls showing the race tightening already. The Reuters Ipsos poll actually has Vice President Harris leading Donald Trump by 2 points.
There's no
Another
fucking
new
way.
poll
That's
out
fake
tonight showing
news.
Donald
There's no
Trump's
way that
national
Kamala
lead,
Harris is
shrinking.
leading.
Kamala Harris getting
There's no
closer to Trump
fucking
in
way,
that
bro. That's a
poll.
lie.
Obviously,
That's fake news.
This is all still very early.
That's
and
a
it will
fucking
all come
lie.
down to the battleground states. So Mary Bruce tonight on how this race has changed and quickly.
That's propaganda. That's a lie.
Whirlwind transition from
It's
Joe
yeah,
Biden's
Senator
lawyer
13.
number 2 to
It's
the
it's
new
a fucking lie.
standard
That's
bearer for the
propaganda.
Democratic Party. Their new
ABC
hope
should be
for
ashamed of
defeating Donald
themselves.
Trump.
Do we want to live
Yeah, Tyler, he
in a
lies.
country
Trump's
of
dominating.
freedom, compassion, and
ABC is
law,
fake news and propaganda,
or
bro.
a country of chaos, fear, and hate.
They should get repercussions for telling America
It was
lies
just
like that.
minutes after dropping out of the race that Biden anointed Harris his successor, giving her his full support.
This
and
old man
endorsement,
isn't ahead of
and telling
anybody. He's not even
Democrats
ahead of the
it's
Grim
time
Reaper.
to come together. His campaign office becoming hers. The president phoning
Thank you,
in
Senator
these
13. Yeah, all they
marching
do is
orders.
lie.
I'm hoping you'll give every bit of your heart and soul that you gave to me to come.
Look at this old
And
man.
Harris then taking the mic, but Biden still on the phone.
We love Joe and Jill. We
Oh
really
my
do.
God.
They
She's
truly
drunk.
are family to us.
Kamala Harris is
And
drunk.
maybe everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
Camel toe Harris. Camel toe hairy ass.
I love you, Joe.
Fuck camel toe hairy
The
ass.
top Democrats in the country uniting behind her
Maria, there's
campaign.
no way.
Within 48 hours, she had commitments from enough delegates to secure the
Nah,
nomination.
Trump's gonna
With
win.
$100
Look at this.
million
You
in
can't give the nation to
pouring
this.
in.
The fuck is that?
And then she was off, hitting the campaign trail.
The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin.
Her historic candidacy
all
welcomed
propaganda.
in battleground Wisconsin by the biggest crowd a Democrat has seen this cycle.
It's a her story moment, correction.
Her story?
Yes, and she will make it with our help.
Harris reintroducing herself to America as a former prosecutor
Man, this is a clown
ready
show.
to make the case against Trump.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
You put innocent men in jail. You're a lot. You're cap, Kamala. You're cap.
Fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump.
Ben, I'm not racist. I'm saying Kamala Harris is trash, bro. It doesn't matter her skin color. She fucking sucks.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
What a liar. Kamala Harris is a liar.
Because here's the thing we all here, Wisconsin, know. When our middle
Yeah,
class
Senator
is
13, if she
strong,
wins, it's going to get a lot
America
worse.
is strong.
As vice president, Harris has been the
at that old
administration's
man.
leading voice on an issue Democrats are counting on to energize voters in November: abortion. Now at the top of the ticket, she's doubling down.
Donald Trump.
Bro, we can't have ladies killing their babies, bro. That's murder.
Because he intended
Yes,
for them
she's
to
a liar.
overturn Roe v. Wade.
They
Let me
should.
say something. When
You
I
shouldn't be able to kill a child.
of the United States,
That's ridiculous.
and when Congress passes a law to restore those freedoms, I will sign it into law.
Bro, you can't be doing this shit, Kamala. Yeah, Senator 13, she just fucked her whole way into
We're
office.
not playing around.
Let's get back to Mary Bruce at the White House. And Mary, you were in Milwaukee. You were inside.
Mary
that
Bruce
rally,
sold her
the Vice President's
soul to be
first
on
campaign
TV.
Rally as the top of
Trash
the ticket,
propaganda.
presumptive nominee, very different running for president than running as the running mate. Can you describe for the audience tonight what you witnessed?
You're
in that
right. Yeah,
room?
she kept
Any
evidence that would've got people off
evolution you
death
might have
row.
witnessed in the
Facts.
Vice
Senator
President?
13, facts.
And the second part of my question
She's
is,
corrupt as fuck.
Kamala Harris made it very clear that she believes she is uniquely qualified as a former prosecutor to make the case for the Democrats against Donald Trump.
Yeah, David, she is in many ways now reintroducing herself to the American people. As you mentioned, they know her as vice president, as a running mate, but at the top of a ticket, that is a very different role. And you felt that in that room yesterday. The energy, the
Kamala's a
enthusiasm
clown.
was palpable, and she also seemed different. She is trying to lean into this, obviously, in a different way. She is leaning into that history and experience of her, reminding everyone that, yes, she was the former Attorney General of California, and she believes that she is uniquely qualified to prosecute the case against Trump. She's also going to have to reintroduce herself personally to the American people. I can tell you so many voters I talked to there yesterday, especially women, were extremely excited at the prospect of having a woman finally in the White House. But David, we are going to have to
Bro,
watch
that's the
closely
last
over
fucking
coming
thing we need in
weeks and
America,
days
bro.
to see how she distinguishes herself, how she may distance herself from the president. She has inherited his campaign, but so far the only real big difference is the messenger and how that message is being delivered.
Before I move on to this, all this talk about running mates, obviously everyone's reading the tea leaves out there.
Artemis, I'm just in the man cave watching
You were
history,
telling
bro,
us,
watching
just
a
moment ago while
president
that piece
bitch
was
out.
Playing on the air, you actually at the end of the
Let's
Oval
go,
Office
Senator
address
13,
thought
let's
you had
go.
heard applause coming. From
Ben,
the White
I'm
House.
not. I'm just
You
saying
might be
Trump's
able to hear it
better.
right now, behind me, massive applause and cheering from what I gather are those hundreds of staffers who are watching that address in the residence right now. And we heard what I know now is the
That's
president's
sad.
voice.
Only
And
hundreds of
as
people
he
watch
walked into
Biden,
that
but
space, he is now
millions
greeting,
watch Trump.
his staff who love him very dearly, as you may be able to hear behind me.
Watching very closely each and every word of that Oval Office tonight. Mary, thank you. As I mentioned, the speculation is growing over
Biden
Vice
just
President
stuttered his
Harris's
whole way through
shortlist
that
of potential
speech.
running mates. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, of course, a retired astronaut, a veteran, and married to former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. And Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, very popular in his home state, a key battleground, of course, Pennsylvania. You need to win the White House. Both are believed to be among the early favorites here. So tonight, Jonathan Karl is back with what we've learned so far about the potential contenders for running mate.
Now that she has the support of enough delegates to lock up the Democratic nomination, Kamala Harris has her first big decision to make, and she has to make it quickly, choosing a running mate. Vetting of potential
Big
candidates
facts,
has already
Senator
begun.
13. Big
Sources
facts.
briefed on the process say there are at least 4 elected Democrats under consideration, including Josh Shapiro, the popular governor of must-win Pennsylvania.
That guy looks like a
Arizona
fruit.
Senator Mark Kelly, an
Oh
astronaut
my
and
God,
husband
he
of
looks
former
older than Biden.
Congresswoman
He looks like a
Gabby
fucking
Giffords,
vampire.
who survived an assassination attempt in 2011.
Oh
Kentucky
my
Governor
God,
Andy
that's a
Beshear,
child. That's a
moderate
fruit
and a rare
child.
Democratic
That's a
governor in
beta
red
male.
state. And North Carolina
Oh my
Governor Roy
God, he
Cooper,
looks like all of them
moderate
combined,
who's
but
known
worse.
Harris for some 20 years, going back to when she
I
was
hate
the
every
Attorney
one of these
General
people.
California, and he was the AG of North Carolina.
North Carolina is in play. Donald Trump is obviously worried because he's coming to Charlotte today because he wants to try.
Trump 24,
and
let's
shore up
go.
North Carolina, and I believe that we can win this state for Kamala Harris.
Today, Governor Shapiro reminded voters of just how important his state will be in November.
The road to the White House leads through Pennsylvania. And listen, that also does
Trump
take experts
2024,
know the
let's
last
go.
two presidential races came down to a point or less. I expect this race will be close as well.
And as Harris undoubtedly knows, Shapiro himself won Pennsylvania 2 years ago in a 15-point landslide. As for Kentucky Governor Beshear,
That guy looks
he's
like
been
Eli
elected
Manning.
twice in a state dominated by Republicans, and he's been showing he's ready to take on Donald
Yes, Rex
Trump's running
Anderson,
mate,
yes.
J.D. Vance, offering something of a preview of a vice presidential
Let's go, Vance.
debate.
Let's go.
J.D. Vance is a phony.
What the
He's
fuck?
fake. I mean, he first says that Donald Trump is like Hitler, and now he's acting like he's Lincoln. I mean, the problem with J.D. Vance is he has no conviction.
Trump
And I guess
24,
his
let's
running
go.
mate has 34.
Senator Mark Kelly from border state Arizona is a moderate with a more conservative approach to the issue of securing the border, perhaps the biggest issue for Republicans. Today, ABC asked if he wanted to be Harris's running mate. He didn't directly answer.
You know, it's not about me. What is important here is we have an opportunity in November to make a really important choice.
Why is Ben
And
talking about
choice
people's
is
mom in the chat? What the
This
hell?
country into the phone.
Man, these Democrats are wild, man. Trump 2024, let's go.
Choice between prosecutor, very experienced, works really hard.
Senator
done a great
13
job,
killing it with
and a
facts.
Convicted felon.
Really interesting to watch these potential contenders be interviewed almost
Trump
hourly,
24, let's go.
with each day
Yo,
that
Ben, you're
passes.
making
John Karl
Democrats
with
look
us
bad
tonight.
in the
John,
chat,
how
Ben.
soon could we see Kamala Harris choose a running mate?
Really soon, David. In fact, the virtual roll call where the
This guy is a
party to,
fruitcake.
at least under the current schedule, to formally pick their nominees for president, that'll be Kamala Harris, and vice president begins.
Ben
in a week,
wilding out
one
in the
week,
chat,
and
man.
It ends on August 7th. What I am told is the goal is to have it
Big
done,
facts,
have the
Rex
choice
Anderson,
done
big facts.
by August 7th. That would give them just 2 weeks to complete a process.
Senator
And
13
any
killing it
other
with the
presidential
facts.
cycle usually takes a matter of a couple of months.
So at this point, we think Kamala Harris and her running mate will know. The country will know.
I'm gonna start
by
calling her
August 7th.
Camel Toe Harris now. That's a
That's
good one.
the plan right
I like
now,
that.
David, but we've never
Camel toe,
seen
hairy ass.
a running mate chosen on such a short timeline.
And John, I don't want to put you on the spot. You listed a number of potential contenders there.
Bro,
What are
what's
your
up with the
sources telling
fucking
you,
split
about
screen, guys?
Who they might be leaning
ABC, get
toward
better
on that
quality,
list?
guys.
I think that those 4 are at the top of the list. There are other names that certainly are being looked at, but
Senator
Josh
13, a
Shapiro,
legend.
the governor of Pennsylvania, gives Kamala Harris the possibility, if the
Camel
if the
toe
list
hairy
goes
ass
down,
does
then
not have a
right now
chance against
shows
Trump.
To win the state of Pennsylvania, if they think they can win Pennsylvania with Josh Shapiro, I think that puts him right near the top of that list. And you can say the same about Roy Cooper in North Carolina, another very key state. But I think all four of those names mentioned, are very much, very actively under consideration.
All right, John Carl with us again tonight. John, I'll likely ask you the same
Rex
question
Anderson,
again
a
tomorrow.
legend.
World News. I'll see you then. In the meantime, I want to bring in the former head of the DNC, ABC News contributor Donna Brazil, with me here.
Holy
tonight.
fuck!
Donna, we all
No
know,
way.
we're
She
all
stole a
students
white
of
man's
history.
job. There's no
LBJ,
way,
March,
bro.
1968,
That's a DEI
Trump
hire
nomination.
right
He did
there.
not seek a
That's some
re-election.
woke bullshit.
But this was different. Obviously, this is much closer to Election Day, hearing this message from the Oval Office.
Camel
President
toe
Biden.
hairy ass. Let's
And
go.
In deeply personal terms tonight, in modern American politics, have you ever seen anything like this?
That's crazy. She stole a white man's job.
David, and look, I've been a student of American politics since I was 9 years old. When
No,
I
you
worked on
haven't.
my first campaign to get a playground in my neighborhood back in Kenner, Louisiana. It's an emotional night for me, David, for obvious reasons. Joe Biden has
This
been
girl's
one
like
of
the
those
female
leaders
Joe
in
Biden.
our
She's
country
stuttering,
that has
got
taken
white
so many
hair,
people over the
can
bridge.
barely talk. It's
His
horrible.
entire history in public service has been one of commitment to freedom and democracy and justice. And so for many of us, and those of us who have known Joe Biden for years, I've known him for 37 years.
Sinner 13? That's hella funny. That old bitch looking like Cisco.
Have you ever seen a man give his power, give the torch to a woman?
Look at this old motherfucker.
And his bank chest. I mean, that's unusual.
Look, he looks sad.
This is because Joe Biden has been an unusual type of president. You talk
Look at
about
this guy.
Lyndon Johnson.
What
You
a
talk
joke.
about the signing of the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act, the Head Start program. And you talk about Joe Biden with building back a country that was on the brink. So this is an amazing moment. I know we have a tight timeline, but the thing the president said tonight, he
This
talked
girl
about
looks like
the
Kevin Hart
job
with
he
the
has
age
in
app,
public
where you make
service.
the people look
I'm so
older.
grateful that I know such a human being who puts his country ahead of his party and who will pass this torch to a tremendous proven leader. Kamala Harris is ready.
Camel toe
She was
hairy
ready
ass is
on
gonna
day
take
one,
an
and
L.
Joe Biden, when he selected her,
Trump.
almost
We're gonna
4
make
years
America
ago in
great again.
August,
USA,
he
baby.
knew he wanted somebody to be prepared for this moment. She will meet the moment, and I'm so proud to have known Joe Biden as a leader, as a fighter, and I'm going to help him over the next 6 months.
In watching this
USA,
Oval Office
Rex
event
Anderson,
closely,
USA
Donna, I took
proud.
note that this didn't seem to be a campaign speech tonight.
I would
This
take
was not
Kanye
a
West
rally.
over Kamala
This was
Harris.
really, it seemed a moment for the president to define his decision in his own
Trump
terms.
2024,
to explain
let's
why
go.
He believes the stakes are so great, this moment for democracy. He argued that's why he stepped aside in this race, that this was larger than any title.
He stepped aside 'cause he was
than
losing
himself,
by a lot.
Essentially is what he came down to.
And he's
what do you
a
make
weak
of
little
this
bitch.
ABC News reporting at this hour that the characterization of the Biden family these last couple of days, a source
Let's
saying
go.
that's not
USA,
exactly,
baby. Camel toe hairy
the
ass.
true reflection of how they feel tonight. That tonight they are, gratitude is the word for so many people in this country pointing to Joe Biden now and calling him a patriot who stepped in when democracy needed.
Yeah, Shark Kisses. I'm old enough to vote, baby. And I'm gonna vote first day. I'm voting Trump.
Family. His sister, I talked to his sister. I stay in touch with the family. I stay in touch with Dr. Biden. They're
Dr.
really
Biden. Are you serious? Joe Biden is not a doctor, bruh.
Fighters too. I
Trump
love their
24, Rex
spirit.
Anderson.
And
Cheers to
when
that.
The president was getting just this hit and that hit. The family stayed close, and they
Hey,
just
Spitfire
kept
Shine, I'm not a
the
big
faith.
channel, bro. Only got like
This is a
2K subs,
wonderful,
homie.
Wonderful.
The fuck you
phenomenal
expect?
Human being, and I'm so glad that I know him, and I'm gonna help him. But more importantly, what you
Maybe
saw
people
tonight,
can give me some
every
likes and
American,
subs.
especially
I don't know,
the young people
but
today,
I don't control
hope
that
they can
shit.
find joy
There we go.
and
2
see
likes,
what a
bitch.
real, true
Hey, Spitfire,
public
2 likes,
servant is all
bitch.
about. He put his country first.
And I
He
skate
said,
Spitfire,
"I
so
want
don't
to
fucking
do
have
this for
that
the
name,
country."
bruh.
Donna Brazil with us tonight as well. Donna, thank you. We're getting Republican reaction tonight here as well. In fact, former President Donald Trump was back on the campaign trail tonight, holding a rally in Charlotte, North Carolina. Trump has been attacking President Biden over
This
his
guy
decision
sold his soul to
withdraw
be
from
on
the
TV,
race.
man.
And he has now turned his attacks to
Fruity
Vice
ass
President
Democrat.
Kamala Harris. Here again on that, Rachel Scott tonight.
With the eyes of the world
Trump, let's
on
go.
White
Let's
House,
make
Biden
America
and
great again,
Donald
Trump.
plowing ahead with his
Let's go,
campaign,
Trump.
taking the
Look at that.
stage
That's a
for the
crowd.
first time since
That's a
Sunday's
fucking
political
crowd right there.
earthquake. President Biden out of the race. Vice President Kamala Harris, now Trump's new opponent.
Kamala has 5 people. Kamala gets less likes than me.
Unfit to lead. She's
Let's go,
unfit
Trump.
to lead. She'll destroy our country in a year.
Trump, who spent years attacking Biden.
Oh shit, Spitfire, my bad.
Calibrate to focus on Harris, zeroing in on her role in the administration. Harris tasked with addressing the root causes of migration at the southern border.
Trump 24, let's go. Yes, sir.
Everything, the borders are. When you look at how bad they are, you say, you know, I like Trump, but now I really like Trump because we don't want to go back.
Let's go, Trump.
Republican members of Congress.
Let's send her back. Send her back where she came
First
from.
woman of color to serve as vice president, labeling her a DEI
Dummies
hire,
for camel
shorthand
toe.
for diversity, equity,
Let's
and
go,
inclusion.
Trump 24. Yes, sir, baby.
DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI.
I told you.
Sources tell ABC News House Speaker Mike Johnson is
DEI
fighting
hire. I told
Republicans
y'all.
to stop.
This is not personal with regard to Kamala Harris and her ethnicity or her gender have nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Today in the New York Times, Hillary Clinton writing of Harris, I know she can defeat Donald Trump.
What the fuck? Hillary, you lost,
About
bitch.
how hard it can be for strong women candidates to fight through the sexism and double
Hillary,
standards
your
of
husband got head in the office because
Harris will
you don't
face
keep him
unique
happy.
Additional challenges as the first black and
Shut
brown
your
Asian
mouth,
woman
Hillary. Shut
to be
your
at
mouth.
the top of a major party's ticket. And on social media,
Oh
people
my
showing
God!
the 2021 clip of
Holy
Trump's running
fuck,
mate,
my
Senator
iPhone
J.D.
just
Vance,
broke.
disparaging Harris
Holy
for not
fuck.
having children.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they
Everybody who
limit the
hates
rest
on me in the
country
chat is a
miserable too. And
childless
it's just
cat
a
lady,
basic
bruh.
fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
Hillary Clinton's reaction, a normal, relatable guy who certainly doesn't hate women having freedoms. But here in North Carolina, Trump supporters we spoke to say they're worried about the new excitement Harris.
Trump, baby, let's go.
Do you think it could be more of a challenge for Trump that Harris is on the ticket?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think Harris will. Like I said, I think she'll bring new life into the party for the Democrats.
No
Yeah,
way,
look at
Joseph.
it,
It's a new America, baby. Look at this guy. Make America great again.
Especially how everything's going haywire.
Trump survived a bullet for our country.
I think that you'll, give them that lift.
Really interesting to hear from Democrats and Republicans that they believe that Kamala Harris, whether you're going to support her or not, is injecting new energy.
Yes, Rex
into
Anderson.
this
Shout
race.
out to Trump
Rachel, I wanted to
supporters
ask you about
out there.
Something that just came out moments ago. This image, I know you're read in on
Breaking
this.
news?
Apparently, Donald Trump watching President Biden in the Oval Office a short time ago.
Trump
and
ready to
he went-
win. Breaking news, Trump ready to win, right here.
David, the former president wrapped up his rally here in North Carolina just minutes before President Biden gave this Oval Office address. And the former president then got on his plane, and these pictures floating around from his own campaign.
Yeah,
advisors
Fox man,
of
facts.
The former president watching President Biden give this speech from the White House. Even though President Biden is not even in the race anymore, it is clear that he has been top of mind for Donald Trump. For the last few days, even though Biden has been out of the race, Trump has been railing. and
There's an
attacking
Indian that vote.
President
Hey, I don't
Biden.
care if you're Indian as long as you vote for Trump.
600 days focused on this rematch with President Biden. And now, of course, he's trying to readjust and focus on Vice President Kamala Harris. That is proving
There's
to
the
be a little bit of
president
a
right
challenge.
there, baby. That's the
Talk
real
to us a little
president
bit
right
about that,
here.
Because today
Trump.
was the first time we actually saw Donald Trump since Kamala Harris became his
Rex
true
Anderson
friend
going
here
off
at
in the
top of
chat.
ticket. And he had said earlier this week on a call with
I like
reporters
Rex
that,
Anderson.
now he's
Yo,
gonna
you better
start all
sub,
over
Rex. I like
essentially,
Rex Anderson. Sub
visibly
and like.
frustrated that Joe Biden
We're gonna have a
had
lot
stepped
more
out
of this
in the
shit
race.
coming up. A lot more lives.
Visibly frustrated, he's been airing out his grievances.
That's the
with
real
President
president right
Biden
there.
Stepping aside in this race, essentially saying that in his own
Look at
words,
that
he
guy.
has
What
to
a
start
legend.
all over again now
Look at this
with a
guy.
new rival
USA
that he has
first,
to
baby.
Figure out a way to attack. Look, Donald Trump wanted it to be President
Fuck
Biden.
yeah, let's go,
especially given
Trump.
all of the questions about his mental fitness and his age coming
Yeah,
off of that
Center
debate,
13, they set
where
that shit
believe
up
that
last
the
time.
president performed very poorly in that debate, and so now
That shit was
to
fake.
switch gears
It's a
and
rigged
try and test
election.
out new lines against Vice President Kamala Harris. We know that this is something that the campaign had been bracing for a number of weeks now, clearly picking up on the cues and the growing pressure on President Biden.
Mr. Peanut Butter, no one wants a hand drop for
reality
Kamala
and they're
Harris,
drilling
bro.
in and trying to figure out their new attack on Vice President Kamala Harris, David.
Rachel Scott with us here again tonight. Rachel, thank you. Of course, the next president will face a number of world conflicts.
Kamala
including
Harris can
the Israel
sloppy
Hamas
top me
war,
from
the
head to toe, and I still won't vote for her
president
bitch ass.
urging ceasefire in Gaza and the return of all hostages. Of course, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Donald Trump, all three.
She
of
got
them
a
are
strong
expected to
grip.
have,
That's just hilarious,
meetings
bro.
with Israeli Prime
That's
Minister
fucking
Benjamin
hilarious.
Netanyahu while he's here in the U.S. He addressed that joint meeting of Congress today in Washington. Protests on the outside in Washington, a warm welcome inside. Let's bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, co-anchor of This
Oh my
Week.
God,
And
all
Martha,
these
the next
fucking
president
Democrats taking
also
over, man.
inherits not only the issues here at home, the economy, immigration, abortion rights, But these conflicts, Israel, Gaza, Russia, and Ukraine, and of course, rising concern over China.
Exactly, David. In fact, today, for what we
Mr.
believe
Peanut
is
Butter,
the first
hilarious,
time,
bro.
U.S. jets, NORAD jets, intercepted Chinese bombers.
This is
and
Joe
two
Biden with the
Russian
wig on right
bombers
here.
off the coast of Alaska. As far as we know, that has not happened in recent times. That was just off the coast of Alaska, about 150-mile area on that coastline. So that is something.
Yeah, Senator 13, that's what you do. You take the hand job and then you vote for Trump. That's what you fucking do.
Coming months is concentrate solely on being president, because it can be a very vulnerable time if you are in fact
Joe
a
Biden with the
lame
white
duck
gives
president.
good
The
people.
world
This
will
is
be
Joe
watching,
Biden with the
our
wig on right
adversaries
here.
will be watching. He also wants badly for that
Let's
Gaza
go, Rex
war
Anderson.
to end and for the hostages to return home. Benjamin Netanyahu did not mention a ceasefire today, but we know that negotiations are doing fairly well. They believe they may be in the closing stages of that.
You're good,
according
Mr.
to
Peanut
a
Butter.
US
You're good, bro.
official.
You're always welcome in here,
Sadly,
bro.
we have heard that
Make sure
before,
to
and it
sub,
hasn't
like, all that
happened,
fucking good
but we
shit.
have had
YouTube
many
hates me anyways. I'm
hostages
fucking
released.
shadow banned.
David?
Martha Raddatz with us tonight as well. Thank you, Martha. As
YouTube
always,
sent me
when
an
we come
email
back on
saying
this
that I don't have
ABC
proper
special,
decorum,
Jerry
bro.
Moran is
Fuck
standing
YouTube.
by. On the state of this race tonight, the new polls, the new national polls just out. In the
Thanks,
last
Rex
24
Anderson.
hours.
Let's fucking go,
Where
man.
does this race now stand between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris? The numbers.
Let's
have
go,
been-
Senator 13.
We're
Let's
also gonna hear
fucking
from
go,
Reince
baby.
Priebus tonight. He was the former chief of staff to Donald Trump, former head of the RNC. What the Republican Party, what Republican leaders are saying behind closed doors tonight. What do they make?
This dude's just rambling on
Do they
worse
think
than me.
Kamala Harris is a formidable candidate. We'll hear from the Republican side and the state of this race, these new numbers, in just a moment. Stay tuned.
It's summer splash season. At
Bitch, we don't want no
Go
fucking
Ahead
commercials,
and
bro.
With the all-new Lakeside Splash, we've got more water.
Alright, so everybody get out there, vote Trump, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Kamala Harris, and let's make America great again. I love you, chat. Except for all these fucking the leftists I don't love, but people like Rex Anderson, I love y'all. We about to end this right now. Peace. Wait, the October surprise. Oh shit, we got some more people in the chat. No one vote Kamala for a free. No, dude, no, we don't vote her for a free hand job, bro. We get the hand job and then we vote Trump. That's what we do, baby. All right, peace.